Welcome to a special edition of the Frankton Eagles Report, a recap and Brent Brobston and Isaac Fair's reaction to Frankton's 62-52 win over Mississinewa on Friday night. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt. Coming up, Grant Shouse of the Action Sports Network recaps the game, and then we will get Brent Brobston's reaction as we do after every Frankton Eagles game. And sophomore Isaac Fair shares his thoughts after his heroics in the Eagles' 8th consecutive win, now 15-4 on the year. Before we get to Grant and Isaac and Coach Brobston, just want to let you know what's going on at the Central Indiana Sports Report. First of all, I have a new daily podcast called Greg and His Friends Talk Sports. Every day, 10 to 30 minutes. My friends and I talk about what Central Indiana sports fans are talking about. It's a lot of fun. We talk IU, Purdue, Pacers, Colts, Fever, IndyCar, Butler, Ball State, Notre Dame, Anderson, Indiana Wesleyan, Taylor, and of course the Frankton Eagles and high school sports. Please join us every day. Also on Thursday this week, we released our IU report. Grant Shouse and Mike Hutzel's thoughts on IU's recent basketball success, plus Hanson Crafton's fight report. And later Saturday, we will have the Colts report with Will Rutherford. Maybe Sunday. Thanks so much for listening. Please stay tuned for Grant Shouse. Grant, I didn't figure this was going to be easy for Frankton, as easy as it may have looked when you looked at the records, but in the end, 8 wins in a row. How'd they get it done?
It wasn't easy, I can tell you that. Mississinewa really showed a lot of fight, a lot of toughness in really the entire game. It was a 28-28 game at the half. Mississinewa had scored 31 total against Delta last Saturday. On Tuesday, we saw them only score 27, so they had scored more points in the first half on Friday against Frankton than they did the entire game against Pendleton Heights. So Coach Brooks, I know, was definitely pleased with the effort for Mississinewa. Coach Brobston missing Noah Melvin tonight for Frankton. He did not play. Trey Bennett been sick pretty much all week.
There was a lot of hand sanitizer at practice on Thursday.
Yeah, he said they're taking the whole weekend off after this one to get healthy, kind of get away from each other a little bit, get from being sick. It's a weird time of year now. We're kind of warm in February. But anyways, back to the game. Frankton really played well in the second half. Actually got up as many as 10 at one point in the second half. Mississinewa climbed all the way back into it, cut it to 3 after Ravion Fetz and 1 to cut it to 3. And then Josh Brooks picked up a technical foul late for Mississinewa. I thought Ravion Fetz may have been fouled, a chance to make it a 1-point game if he would have gotten fouled because he would have had free throws. They were in the bonus. He felt like Fetz got fouled. Frankton got the rebound. Mississinewa had to foul. Coach Brooks was not happy with the officials. Got nailed with a technical and then nailed with Mississinewa also had the foul there. So Isaac Fair went to the line with 18 seconds and shot 8 free throws in the final 18 seconds of the game to seal it. He really stepped up and played well for them. He scored 6 points tonight, all at the foul line there in the last 18 seconds. So Frankton pulled away to win 62-50. The game is a lot closer than the 10-point score depicts. It was a real competitive game. It was a fun game to call, fun game to watch. Mississinewa, a lot of fight. Frankton just made more plays down the stretch.
Grant, who played well for Frankton?
Trey Bennett, 17 points. He led them in scoring. Blake Nickham, though, 16. A quiet 16, however. Really got going on a lot of Mississinewa would have to press and get up in him. Frankton was able to break that press. And a lot of times it was Nickham streaking to the rim, catching, finishing right at the rim. He played well. Ashton Brobston, you can tell plays like a freshman, but man, is he going to be a good player here in a few years. I'm not going to be shocked if he's not one of the all-time greats to ever come through the program when it's all said and done. He only had 9 tonight, knocked down a couple threes, but when you're a 6'8" shooting guard, you're going to have advantages a lot of places that other teams don't.
And Mississinewa, what were they able to do well to stay in this game?
just hit shots, just keep it close, really. They gave themselves a chance. They were in the fight the entire game. Last few games, you've seen them get knocked down and get big knockout blows thrown at them, and they weathered the storm. Again, they got down 10 in the fourth quarter and cut it back. Ravion Fetts had a big and one. Trent Van Landingham hit a big three in the corner for them. Those two were big tonight. Fetts actually led all scores with 21. Credit Mississinewa for hanging in there. Again, Frankton, it kind of got to a point where maybe you were concerned that they were playing not to lose, but they hit the free throws when they needed to. When the pressure was on, they really stepped up. I thought Frankton really just made one or two more plays down the stretch than Mississinewa did, but Mississinewa was right there. And I think if Trent Van Landingham didn't get into foul trouble, that really could have been a different game tonight.
Grant, this is 8 in a row for Frankton. They're now 15-4. Their sectional includes Taylor and Sheridan, now Hoosier Heartland champions. It also includes Tipton and rival Lapel, who beat them in just a wild game earlier this season. You feel like Frankton's good enough to win a sectional?
I do, but the road that they're going to have to go down is not going to be easy, because they're no question going to probably run into Lapel and Taylor at some point if they want to cut down the nets. Tipton, a team that could get hot, could get a little sneaky for them. I would not be at all shocked if they didn't win that thing and pass that test with flying colors. They're that good. If you get the right draw in the regional, just depends who you're going to play. You could be in the semi-state with the one-game regional, but again, you're setting the table before you even walk into the restaurant. So I think Frankton's got a good shot here, and I'm excited to see what they can do. They're a fun team to watch. They're very well coached. Brent Brobston, I did the math today, entering tonight was 127-50 all time at home on that home floor. He's only lost 50 games in 18 years at home. And he added another win as 128 home victory tonight for Frankton. He is just an unbelievable coach, well on his way to being a Hall of Famer. And yeah, I think Frankton's got a good shot, and they got a good leader and good players to go along with it.
And please stay tuned for Frankton head coach Brent Brobston. All right, Coach, 8 in a row, but it certainly wasn't easy.
No, it's always a tough test when you play Mississinewa. They're well coached. He does a really good job with them, and they're just a tough matchup. So for us, it was a good win. It was a weird week for us with sickness, and we didn't have Noah Melvin tonight. So that was we actually had Blake Nickham sick Wednesday, Thursday. Trey Bennett sick Wednesday, Thursday. Noah Melvin gets sick today. Greer Klein's out sick. So we got two kids that really didn't know the game plan coming in tonight. So we just had to improvise, and we also had Isaac Fair step up and play some really good minutes. Jackson Spalding come in the second quarter for about 3 minutes, gave us some good minutes. So we're real happy with the win.
Yeah, Coach, most of the season you've had a pretty tight rotation, but there have been times where you've been able to get a lot of guys in, and when you have, they've performed pretty well.
Yeah, Isaac came in at a time we really needed him when Blake fouled out, and with about 3 minutes to go, and finished off the game for us, made 6 of 8 free throws, and really handled their pressure well, got the ball past where it needed to go, and played a good several minutes there for us. And he gave us 4 good minutes in the second quarter too.
What did you think tonight? Your team did well, and who played well for you?
Tonight, I thought we were kind of led by Trey Bennett and Blake Nickham offensively. Both of those guys took the load offensively. Had 17 for Trey, 16 for Blake, 9 for Ashton. I think Stansbury had 8, I believe. So we had some scoring there, and out of 4 guys that were close to double figures. So they kind of led the way. Eli Birch was extremely important, made big shots in the second quarter for us, back-to-back 3. So he was a big part in that as well. Really just a good team effort from everybody.
So what's the plan for tomorrow? Day off?
We're taking the weekend off. We got to get everybody away from each other. We got to get healthy. We got a lot of sickness going through. And like I said, Trey played tonight, Nickham played tonight. They're definitely not 100%. Neither one of those guys were completely healthy tonight, and then we're without Nickham. So at this point, or without Melvin, we've just got to get back and get healthy.
But you're not going to get to rest too much because Daleville on Tuesday.
Yeah, so we're going to take the weekend off, prepare Monday for Daleville, play them Tuesday at home, then Wednesday, Thursday preparation for Alexandria Fridays. Another tough matchup coming up next week. Obviously not going to overlook Daleville. Got to get through that Tuesday, and then that's our total focus really right now, and then turn our focus to Alexandria Friday night.
And again, your focus is on Daleville, certainly, but that Alexandria is playing well. Big win tonight, 41-point win over Madison Grant.
I got a lot of respect for Marty. He was here with me 10 years, so we kind of know each other inside out on our systems, and we've competed each other for several years now. It's always weird to go against him because he's a guy I talk to 2-3 times a week usually. But Marty's a great coach. He's done a good job with his team this year, and they're playing well at the right time. So that test on the road will be a really good test for us against a good Alec team.
But what a great place to play a basketball game.
Alexandria's a tough place to go play, tough place to win, always has been. I was able to have the opportunity to coach against Garth Cohn when he was there, and what a legend who led that program to the heights of winning a state championship. It's always been a really good place for basketball, and even growing up, I was a Frankton kid, so growing up, a lot of friends from there, and a lot of guys that I played with growing up from there that I know. So be a difficult test for us for sure, but something we'll be looking forward to because they'll expose us in ways and show us things we'll have to get better at, and hopefully we can go in there and play well.
Coach Brobston, thanks so much.
Hey, thank you, Greg. Appreciate everything.
Late Friday night, Michelle Garman of the Tipton Tribune and Elwood Call Leader asked me if I wanted some audio of Isaac Fair after his heroics on Friday night, and I said sure, so please stay tuned for Frankton sophomore Isaac Fair.
Isaac, big night. I'm sure it's not something that you saw happening before the game started tonight.
Oh, no, definitely not. I mean, I heard that Noah in school that he was coming home sick, and I was like, oh, man, I may get my chance here. And then it happened, and
you certainly made the most of your chance. It was a 3-point game. Then Trey hit one of 2 free throws, make it a 4-point game, and then the rest of the points came for you in the final 18 seconds. 6 of 8 free throw shooting. What'd you tell yourself when you stepped to the line? Especially, I'm going to guess that those first 4 were the toughest ones because you were on the line all by yourself.
Yeah, they definitely were. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was definitely nervous, but I tried. We shoot free throws all the time in practice, and I just tried taking deep breaths and relying on my mechanics to pull me through.
Now, tell me, what was your mindset? Blake obviously fouls out. You have to go in. Again, it's a tight game.
Honestly, I was just like, all right, let's just close this game. We need one stop, and they had to foul. And then once I got fouled, I was like, all right. And then the tech, I was like, may as well capitalize on this opportunity. And obviously, I wasn't going to try go in and score all these points because that's not really my role. But I guess it happened in a little different way than I thought it was, but I'll take it.
Hey, thanks so much to Isaac, Grant, and Coach Brobston, as always. Thank you so much for listening. Greg and his friends talk sports every day. Really good one on Saturday, featuring a lot of high school boys basketball and a look ahead to a lot more high school sports this weekend. And a preview of Purdue, Iowa. Please check it out. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.